Another busy night at Memorial Stadium, and it's been all Nebraska so far in this one. A homecoming to remember for the Big Red. So the Huskers' emotional season comes to an end here at the 2014 Holiday Bowl. Kevin, it's more like Hawks swimming pool out here at Haymarket Park. As you can see, there's standing water all over the field from last night's torrential downpour. He's one of the most colorful personalities ever to walk through that tunnel. Shortly after that, I started talking with players that were either walking into Memorial Stadium or the football complex, just trying to get a feel of what they thought of the hire and what they knew of Mike Riley. It was no-sit Sunday the last time the Badgers were in Lincoln. Tonight, it's going to be a whiteout, as you just mentioned. This is normally the tool the Nebraska baseball team wants to work on the weekends, but lately, this one's been just as important. And to quote one of my favorite movies, so you're saying there's a chance. First pitch tonight, 6:35 here at Hawks Field. That's why it's so surprising to hear that back in high school, during the winter sports season, of all the sports he could have chosen, he was on the diving team. Are you sensing a theme here? It's a whiteout night at the Devaney Center tonight as the Huskers host Indiana. These shirts passed out to all the fans in attendance. It's finally game time. All the talk is over. They're actually going to play a football game. When the call to the bullpen is made, Raiders' entrance song begins playing throughout Hawks Field. It's a mixture of hard rock, which can be pretty intimidating to hitters. But what's even more menacing, this is what they see when he toes the rubber. More importantly, the Huskers learned yesterday that Avery Harriman, son of assistant coach Chris Harriman, is in remission from leukemia. He's never in a bad mood, always joking around, keeping that defense on their toes and loose. It's clear that Bade isn't afraid to mix it up with the guys when she gets in this seat. But the 22-year-old sprint car driver is a knockout off the track as well. Bade even does some print modeling on the side. Now let's bring in your beautiful fiance here, Shelby. What was that like for you? Do you have any idea that was coming?
No, I had no idea. I was completely shocked, actually.
What did it feel like in here with the crowd for a Big Ten game?
Oh, I felt great, man. Big Ten ain't no joke. He
then concluded his talk by taking several selfies with some of the coaches in attendance. Reporting from the Hendricks Training Complex in Lincoln, Drew White, 10-11 Sports. The odds my hair looks like this when I get down.
Your hair's
Zero?
not going to look like that when you get down.
Okay.
Unless you've used a lot of gel.
That's what I was afraid of. I mean, I'm usually not at a loss for words. I am right now. It is literally just everyone in the world needs to do it at least once. We were talking about it in the newsroom, and we have some hot dogs here with us. We decided we'd give ourselves a little bit.
Give it a try. All right, count us down.
So you're
Hold on.
Hold on.
Yep.
My mom will be proud of this.
Oh, look at
Gotta
you.
keep it proper.
Yeah, those
All right.
for us.
The Nebraska football team is happy to have an impact freshman like Josh Kalu. He's simply happy to tell about each moment he gets at Memorial Stadium. As 10-11's Drew White reports in tonight's Know Your Husker, 19 years ago, Kalu was fighting for his life just days after birth.
Josh Kalu wears the number 10 on his jersey, but more importantly, he carries the number 10 in his heart.
Having that number 10 to be the reason and symbolize why I'm still alive. Every time I look at it, I just realize how far I actually came.
When Kalu was only 10 days old, he had to have surgery to save his life.
I wasn't able to digest food. I would swallow it, come back up, and I would always throw up and things like that. Being able to push and keep going and fight to who I am to be today, or who I am today, and having that number 10 to just resemble how God has blessed me in so many ways, it's really nice.
Following that life-saving surgery, Kalu spent several months in the hospital, eventually being released to the care of his parents.
My mom will always tell me, she always remind me how blessed she is. She would thank the Lord every day. Thank you for keeping my son alive and what the great things he's been able to accomplish. And she reminds me every day when I play football, just thank him. Because I mean, I wouldn't be here.
Snap back to Kaya, looking, holding, throws downfield, pass intercepted, picked off. Huskers intercept the pass. It is Joshua Kalu with the pick.
It's cool. Nah, I'm playing. It's amazing.
Because of what he's been through, Josh Kalu doesn't take anything for granted. In fact, he's actually a pretty goofy guy with a great outlook on life.
I feel like you just got to enjoy it, like every single piece of it, like just playing out here in the stadium. God put something in me to just be able to smile and it just be a blessing, I guess, or have some type of enjoyment or make everybody excited or goofy or smile in a certain way. Because I mean, I put a smile on my mom's face when I was able to stay alive, so why not put a smile on everybody else's face every day?
So in front of 90,000 plus screaming Husker fans, Nebraska's number 10 will continue to dance for joy, the joy of life. Covering the Huskers, Drew White, 10-11 Sports.
Petaway drives the ball and puts it in off the glass. 3-on-1. Petaway up and in. Huskers up by 11.
Man, I'm probably one of the biggest competitors you'll ever know, man. I want to win at everything.
Rightfully so, Teran Petaway grew up in a basketball family.
My oldest brother, Terry, he played at Lamar for like 5 years, and then he went overseas and played in London. And then my middle brother, I mean, he was a standard player, but he played in JUCO.
But that passion Petaway plays with, that comes from somewhere else.
If you ever meet my mom, that's where I get it from. She's emotional, I'm telling you right now.
For the lob and the dunk. Oh, highlight reel, big time. The lob by Parker and the dunk by Petaway.
The Big Ten's second leading scorer began his college career in his home state of Texas at Texas Tech University, but luckily for Husker Nation, Petaway found his way to Lincoln.
An alert came to my phone. It said Tim Miles accepted a job in Nebraska, and I was like, dang. I asked my dad, I was like, can you ask me if he still want me? He said he called him. A couple of days later, he called me back. He's like, he said he still wants you. He said he just wants you to sign right now. So we didn't go to no recruiting thing. It was no other visit. I came visit here, signed before I left.
Due to NCAA transfer rules, Petaway was forced to sit out last season, so he spent most of his time right here at the Hendricks Training Center, and with the help of his brothers, the coaching staff, and the weight room, he transformed both his body and his game.
Sitting on that sideline, just watching my teammates play night in and night out, it was the toughest thing I've ever been through, really.
That year off allowed Petaway to develop into a primetime performer, and as all great players do, he wants the ball when the game's on the line.
I don't get scared or nervous or nothing like that. I just live in the moment. I love shots like that.
And if there's any doubt about his dedication, just ask his hair.
I haven't had a haircut since I was like 3 years old.
At the rate Petaway is producing, Nebraska fans are in for quite the treat in the years to come. Covering the Huskers, Drew White, 1011 Sports. In front of a sold-out crowd of over 2,000 fans at Wayne State College, two teams played for one purpose, helping a town rebuild only 7 months after a devastating tornado turned Wayne upside down.
To me, this is the most meaningful thing we've ever done in Nebraska volleyball for life skills, giving back to the community. That's where it really all sinks in. And I know it does for our girls.
We always love doing anything to help out, and so just coming up here playing in front of this town is just something we can do, like a little part we can do to help them out. And we actually had 3 girls on the end of our bench who they lost completely everything from the tornado, so that was kind of cool to just see they're still here supporting us, and then we're up here trying to support them at the same time.
It's a great turnout. It's an exciting day here in Wayne. I know the youth of Wayne is excited, and it's a great way for us to give back to the community.
In an effort to raise even more money, an auction was held between games 2 and 3. Some of the items on the auction block: a signed football from Husker head coach Bo Pelini, also a signed basketball from the Creighton men's basketball team, but the item grossing the highest total, a Wayne State College neon bar sign. That sold for $625.
We're hoping that it's going to be close to around $15,000 that we can give to the city. And when you're building a sports complex, I don't know if $15,000 goes very far, but I'm sure anything is going to help them out right now.
This is huge for our community. After the devastation of the tornado, it's just another great event for us to get together and raise some money for those that were affected, lost their homes, their jobs, those types of things.
In a matchup between two state rivals, the score didn't matter. The real winner today, the town of Wayne. Reporting at Wayne State College in Wayne, Nebraska, Drew White, 1011 Sports.
Now, your award-winning local sports coverage. Here's 1011's Drew White.
Nebraska head coach Darren Erstad said after yesterday's rainout that the Huskers should only worry about what they can control. And that's a good mindset to have, because today's start time against Iowa was once again out of Nebraska's control, as game 1 of the series was delayed yet again. But baseball was finally played in Iowa City. First pitch came shortly after 4 p.m. Pick up the action in the bottom first, 2 out. Iowa hits a grounder to Jake Schleppenbach. He bobbles it. The throw is not in time. That would lead to trouble for NU. Later in the first, Iowa's Nick Rossetti with the base hit to left center. 2 runs would come across the score. Remember, Nebraska should have been out of the inning. That's part of a 3-run inning for the Hawkeyes. They lead it 3-0 after the first. Fast forward to the top. 1 on for Ben Miller. He's an Iowa native. The Iowa native muscles it over the wall in left field for the 2-run home run. That's Miller's 3rd home run in as many games. Nebraska down 1 there within a run, down 3-2. Bottom of the 7th now, runners on 3rd for Iowa. Jake Mangler taps it back past the pitcher. He's safe at first. Taylor Kaufman scores. Iowa up 4-2 at that point. Top of the 9th now, NU still down 2. Ben Miller blasts it to right center, but check out this catch by Joel Booker. That saves a pair of runs that would likely tie up the game for the Huskers. But the Huskers not done. Later in the 9th, runners on the corners. Tanner Lubach, RBI single to right. Jake Plotzek scores. Huskers down 4-3. Then the bases loaded, 2 out. Last chance for the Huskers. and Austin Darby can't get it done. Grounder to short, the throw over to second for the force out. That ends it. The Huskers strand 12 runners on the day. Nebraska loses 4-3. So with the loss, Nebraska falls to 30-14 on the season. The Huskers still have yet to win a conference road game. 10-11's Adam Kruger has more from Iowa City.
On a cloudy and chilly day here in Iowa City on Saturday, the Huskers come up just short against the Hawkeyes, 4-3. Adam Kruger, 10-11 Sports.
Thank you, Adam. Hopefully that sun means a little bit warmer weather up there for you. I know it was chilly today. The Nebraska softball team in a doubleheader at Wisconsin. In game one, Wisconsin already up 2-1. Ashley Van Zeelen, grounder to third. Huskers can't make the play. 1 run scores. Badgers up 3-1, but the Huskers would figure it out from there. Emily Lockman gets the strikeout to end the inning. Let's move to the third now. Huskers with the bases loaded. Kylie Muir, she draws the walk. That's an RBI for her, though. That ties this game at 3. Then later in the third, Donna Tyson is going to punch one to the opposite field. Steph Pasquale scores. That gives Nebraska the 4-3 lead, and Nebraska wouldn't trail after that. The Huskers win game 1 5 in 5 innings. In game 2, the Huskers pull off the come-from-behind win. They get the victory 3-2. Nebraska and Wisconsin will wrap up the series tomorrow at noon. That game can be seen on Big Ten Network. Well, the Nebraska volleyball team made their one and only appearance of the spring. Tonight, the Huskers hosted their lone spring match in Grand Island. Over 6,000 fans packed the Heartland Event Center to see the Huskers take on the Kansas State Wildcats. In the first, NU's new setter Kelly Hunter with the set, Katie Rolfson with the big kill. Huskers go up 18-12 at that point. Then still in the first, match point, Kelly Hunter gets the block on the right side. Huskers win the first set 25-13. Moving along to the second set now, Kelsey Fien. She's got a powerful right arm, the junior from California with the kill. She had 20 on the night. Nebraska takes the second set 25-11. Third set, K-State fighting back, but Amber Rolfson gets the block. And still in the third, Hunter said her name a lot. She had a great game. She sets it up. Katie Rolfson with the tip kill. Gotcha. Huskers go up 5, and Nebraska takes the third set 25-23. The Huskers get the 3-0 sweep. They're impressive. Coach Cook's got to like that. 10-11's Ryan Mix was on hand, and he has more from Grand Island.
In the Huskers' lone indoor spring match of the season, the Big Red looks like they were in midseason form. Reporting from the Heartland Event Center in Grand Island, Ryan Mix, 10-11 Sports.
Thank you, Ryan. Safe travels home, buddy. Well, let's stay out west. It's the first spring game for new UNK head coach Josh Lambertson. In the fourth quarter, Lopers leading the Antelopes 17-10. Bronson Marsh hits Cougar Williams for the touchdown. That puts the Lopers up by 14. Then with the game winding down, Bronson Marsh is going to roll right. He hits Cougar Williams again. He's a fast cat. He scores 52-yard touchdown, and Lambertson's first spring game is a success. Lopers win 31-13.
It was really fantastic. The guys came out with energy, with enthusiasm, with love in their heart, and they did some really good things in between the stripes. Obviously, for a spring game, sometimes you're going to have those mental mistakes. You're going to have some turnovers, and we did that in the first half, but I really thought they did a great job of rebounding in the second half, playing for each other and making some plays.
And finally, our 10-11 sports poll. The question, what is your level of concern with the Nebraska men's basketball program? 39% of you have faith in head coach Tim Miles. He's heading into his 4th year this year, but surprisingly, 21% of the people that responded say cancel my season tickets. I guess only time will tell, guys. Some MLB news: the Royals were rained out in Chicago. That rain has been rough on us the last 2 days. They're going to start their game that was postponed last night at 1:10 tomorrow in Chicago, and then they'll play their regularly scheduled game after that. It's hard to remember all the stuff.
Of course, they're going to be short a few players.
A couple guys are suspended, yep. But
maybe it'll give them some time to think about it.
And reflect.
To reflect
That's
on
right.
what they've done.
They might need it. There's been 25 ejections so far in the MLB season. 9 of them have been from the Royals. So maybe a little reflection's needed.
Time to think, yeah. Thanks, Drew.
I'm going to take some time right now, you guys.
All right, we'll give you your moment.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Drew.